again, and welcome to CulDeSacFlix, the place to check in to find out what movies you should be checking out. I am Keith Connor.
And I'm Carl-san. Today we're talking Bushido, we're talking Japanese movies.
We're talking samurai.
3-foot razor blades. Yes. Fun.
We have a pair of samurai movies that
Right.
we're looking at today. We're going to start with which one?
Chambara. We're going to do Sword of Doom.
Sword of Doom.
Old movie, 1965.
That's how old I am.
You're 1,965 years old?
No,
That's pretty good.
That's when I was born.
Oh. Jeez.
So if you're saying the movie's old, then I'm old, and that can't be right.
That
So
can't be.
it
120 minutes. Yes. Black and white.
Yep. So do not adjust your set when
Do
you
not
watch it.
not adjust your set. So this is about the same time. This is a little bit after Yojimbo is done,
Okay.
which we haven't gotten to yet, but we will. It deals in Japan in the 1840s, when they still had samurai running around, but things had calmed down a little bit. But you had gangs trying to get control, and you still had samurai who were trying to prove themselves and get better and challenging schools, and you had certain style. And this is about a character played by Tetsuya Nakadai, who was in Yojimbo and Sanjuro, who has developed an evil style. The sword is the soul of the samurai. It comes up frequently in this movie. And his technique is kind of interesting because he kind of, when he's having a duel, he kind of feints, and as people approach, he kind of lowers his guard to try and suck him in, and he's very fast. So when you do come at him, he just moves lightning quick, and just you're gone. But that's not the right way to do it. And he's a psychopath, basically. I mean, he's just Japanese culture is very much having to deal with the rest of the society and people. I mean, samurai did have their own caste system in effect, but he's so into himself. And in fact, the opening of the movie, he kills the old man while crossing the path.
Yes.
Whereas just, here's an old man praying.
Yep.
Oh, that was fun.
No reason.
No, just
you
something
were there.
to do.
You were there.
At Daibosatsu Pass, which I think is one of the original titles of the movie. It's based on a well-known book in Japan, which accounts for the ending. The ending is a bit abrupt because they were planning on doing another one. I mean, this is kind of the reason why you should, if you're doing a movie based on a book and you're only doing part of it, don't leave a cliffhanger unless you've done like Lord of the Rings, where you filmed all the movies at one time, so you don't leave people hanging. But it's still pretty knockout.
Yeah.
So did you like it?
No, I did. I thoroughly liked it. One of the things I did like, the fact that, as you mentioned, it's been black and white. There was a really nice use of light and shadow in this movie. There's a couple of scenes. There's an outdoor one in the snow, which is really nice.
Yes.
And then the end of the movie is all within a set of rooms with paper walls.
Types, yeah.
And just the certain ways that he moves, and you see the shadows on the wall, and the certain ways the other guys move, and the shadows and whatever, and the way he moves between, as the camera pans, there's like blind effects, and there's like light and dark, and he's moving between the two, and it's really interesting, beautifully filmed. I thought, for a 1960 black and white film, it's beautifully shot, and just the use of positioning and lighting positions and stuff like that. But I like, the characters are very good in that as well. I mean, he ends up meeting the daughter of the grandfather that he kills. She comes into it near the end, and then you have the guys that are trying to stop him.
Yeah.
And then you have the guys that are working with him that they're not sure about him anymore and stuff like that too. So,
well, again, he's allied himself with a gang in order to provide himself with sake money.
But he's
basically.
But he's a loner,
which is very unsettling in Japanese culture.
But no one will go against him because they know they're going to lose. So they sort of,
because he's very deadly.
Which is him.
They like him in the gang, but it's like they don't trust him. He doesn't sit and drink with everybody else. He just likes getting the sake and going off by himself. So
you sort of have these two factions. One of them are working with him, but they're not sure about him, and the other one are trying to stop him. And
and then even within his own gang, there's a rivalry between two of the leaders.
To the top. There's people trying to take over the whole thing, right?
Right. So it's
and can we get him on our side, and can we get him on their side?
And do we trust him to be on the other side if we can't get him? So maybe we should kill him.
Yeah, and it's not a hack and slash samurai movie. There's a lot going on.
Yes,
here.
there is.
There's a lot going on.
Do we have enough people to kill him?
Yeah, it's actually really interesting. It's fun movie.
Yeah, it is. It is. And the final fight is just it starts up and you're like, okay, and it's like, whoa. And again, this is 1965. So we weren't into the arterial sprays as much, which they got into later, but it's still pretty gory when it gets into it. Mm-hmm. But it does kind of get into the techniques of doing it. In fact, there's a cameo by the famous Toshiro Mifune as the one man that Tetsuya Nakadai is actually winds up being afraid of. Because he sees him in action. They were supposed to. They accidentally attack his palanquin, and instead of the nice fat lord that they were supposed to kill, it's accidentally Toshiro Mifune, and he's like, "How dare you interrupt my travels? What outrage! Who are you people?" And he's just taking him out, and Tetsuya's just in the background like, oh my God, this guy's better than me.
Yeah, not going near that.
Yeah, not going. Smart man. So this is, it's got a Masaru Sato score, who's probably next to Akira Fukubi, probably one of the more prolific Japanese composers.
Okay.
He did Yojimbo and Sanjuro. He did a lot of the Kurosawa's post Seven Samurai. Mm-hmm. So he did Bad Sleep Well, High and Low, H-Man, so he was also doing some of the Japanese science fiction movies, Hunter in the Dark, another Japanese Chambara, as they call them there. And then Kahachi Okamoto, who's the director, did the Zatoichi Meets Yojimbo movie, which was the third in the series kind of the Yojimbos with the Mifune character, Red Lion. He did Red Beard, which was the last Mifune movie he did with Kurosawa. So he's pretty. He also did a wonderfully named samurai movie called Kill.
Good name for a samurai movie, right?
Kill.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which really gets in, is another one that's interesting because it gets into kind of the stupidity of the Bushido code, and everybody wanted to be a samurai because it was glamorous and you got the geishas. But there was also a certain degree of stupidity from a certain point of view, which he did in this. But Sword of Doom, you're talking about a real sicko.
教えられるものでなく秘匿するもの。例のおとなしの構えを破るにはお前の申す通り月の一手しかし生実家な月では逆に相手に誘い込まれ視界をつけて謝れ。正しからざる剣は邪剣だぞ。剣を学ぶ者は心を学べ。
龍之介さん。
Really, his ghosts kind of come back to haunt him.
Yeah.
At the end.
That's what it seems to be, and
Yeah.
he goes more crazy than he actually was before he started.
Which is saying a lot, because
yeah,
he's pretty...
and what I liked about that too was you could see it in his eyes.
Yes.
Just brilliantly portrayed that crazy psycho, like he's totally lost the plot, and just the eyes go big, and you can see him just like, whoa, stand back, he's on a roll now.
Yeah, Tetsui wound up. There was a rift between Akira Kurosawa, the director, and Mifune, and Tetsui Nakadai kind of stepped in. So the later Kurosawa movies like Ran and Kaigamusha, those were all done with Tetsui Nakadai.
Right.
So he kind of became his new primary. But so he's a good actor, but he definitely off the deep end in this one, folks, and doesn't care.
Nope.
Women, children, doesn't care. Has no honor. Absolutely not. Fun movie.
But rated well. IMDb got an 8 out of 10, which is actually not too bad. Again, I'd never heard of this movie. I haven't heard of a lot of Japanese movies, I'll admit. But 8 out of 10 for this one on IMDb. But Rotten Tomatoes, 89% for the users.
And 71 for critics.
Yeah, they like it.
I'm curious as to what the critics didn't like about it. Maybe they didn't like the ending. Curiously, for a movie that's as famous as it is, because it is, has a certain degree of fame or infamy, the Malton guy doesn't have it listed in anything, not even in their Classics edition.
Interesting.
Very curious.
So, Sword of Doom is available on DVD only. It is an older movie. I'm not sure. There's no word of a Blu-ray release, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. As always, you can send your emails to mail@CulDeSacFlix.com. That's mail@CulDeSacFlix.com. Or call us on our feedback hotline, 312-566-8CDS. That is 312-566-8237. Check us out. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. Go to our website, www.CulDeSacFlix.com. All the links that you have to contact us are there. All our episodes are listed there. We are on iTunes. That's probably the best way if you wanted to watch our episodes. Let us know. Feed us back and watch these movies. You'll have a great time.
Interested if you enjoy them as much as we have.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, these are I saw them for the first time recently, and I'm thoroughly into them. Can't wait to see the next couple of Japanese movies you lay on me.
I have a few more.
I'm sure you do. That's it for this episode. Thank you so much again for joining us. I am Keith Connor.
And I'm Carl Sachs.
And we will see you again next time. Bye for now.
So does Nate.